I'll bleed tonight if I am sad tonight. I don't have a job to find, and if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. When I'm home.
Hi, race fans. We're back here for some more Topside Tuesday. And the Coast to Coast Racing League. Joe White up here in the booth with old Corey. Tonight we got the Cool Rays late models about to get kicked off. Then after that, we got those NASCAR trucks, man. Lucy Olson, it's your 22 NASCAR trucks later on. Stay tuned for that. But past this dirt action and been pretty interesting so far. And, you know, we were just in there talking about the points too, Corey. Is man, it's tight for the top four.
Yes, it is. Jeffrey Kemper coming in tonight as your points leader. Not a whole lot of weeks to go here. This is week number 9 officially for the league. It is 7 races been ran for the dirt late models, and only a few more weeks to go. So winding down on the season in the pro late models.
Oh yeah.
And 3-point difference between Kemper, and then tied for second, you have Satzer and Spees going into tonight.
Yeah, so going to be interesting to see what that actually, man, transpires after tonight. But, well, here we go. Heat race number 1. That's going to bring us over here to the Flatline Racing Bodies heat race number 1. And if you're looking for some good, awesome NASCAR bodies, quality bodies at that, from a regional short track champion, Dan Chapman. He's in the hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Check those things out as I look through the grid here right fast. We got Patrick Spangler. We just talked about it. He's sitting 4th out there in points. Brandon Templeton up in starting 2nd. Stephen Bixel there in 3rd. Zach Chapman starting 4th. Joe Moose there in 5th. And Jacob Moose. So we got the 2 Mooses up here starting in 5th and 6th. The brothers alone. And, you know, we were just touching on the points and whatnot. Spangler right now sitting with no wins in the late models. Kind of surprising, but so is Kemper. But Spees, the man who has kind of just been dominant, sitting with 4 wins.
Yeah, right now it looks like Spangler has not made a call to the grid yet. Now there has Bixler, and we are rolling off, so no start for Spangler here in heat race number 1. That will move Joe Moose all the way up to the pole here, all things considered. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they do a pill draw like we always talked about. It's not really a they don't do a qualifying where it sets the heat field. I like the pill draw thing because you never know what you're going to get. You know, the top guys, man, sometimes might get up front, they might get in the back. But, you know, it's unusual. Maybe some technical difficulties there on Spangler's part. But he's still got a chance. I mean, realistically, everybody should make the show.
Yeah, everybody should make the show here. A little under 18 cars showed up. So here we go, though. Joe Moose a little tight there on the bottom, not able to get in front of your Templeton off the green flag. And wow, look at that thing. That is pushing like a pig out there.
Yeah, I saw that, and it follows all the way back to the 4th place. You got Jacob Moose right there in the 3rd battle up front, though. Here comes Chapman. He's going to throw a slide job, and that thing just went straight to the wall. Couldn't do anything but get out of it, and they had to give up, and it's going to almost send him in. Man, it looks like the front ends are just plowing.
Yeah, the front ends are definitely tight. You see, Joe Moose, he piled up into the wall as well, pulling a slider on his brother, Jacob Moose. Now Jacob moves up in front of Joe Moose. You know, it's so tacky out there. I wonder if that's playing a factor on how it's, why it's pushing.
Yeah, I mean, because you can see it right there. They're not able to kick these things sideways like they normally are. The front end's just kind of just digging into the dirt. And that's just something you just don't want it to do. I mean, you see it right there again. It's Joe, man. That thing dug in. It got up into the wall. Joe went around, so Jacob went backwards. So those two are at each other. Templeton's out front. He's loving it. I mean, it will slick off as the race goes on, but you're going to get some wear into this track. Chapman down there struggling down on the bottom. He almost looks like he's just... Because that's going to end it on that one.
But yeah.
Thing, man. He didn't update him. That puts us over in the heat race number 2. Langdon Mechanical, they're second to none heating and air conditioning company out of Hamilton area. They promise to their customers their own professional trained specialists. Be there a personal every step of the way. So if you want the guarantee from them, check them out. 100% Langdon Mechanical. As we sit and look at our grid. Quick if I can't fix the pop up. There we go. You got Cody Graham going to be out front. Jeffrey Kemper there in second. Looks like John Hines starting third. Eddie Moose up there in fourth. Joseph Grandy in the fifth. And Bud Molly?
Molly.
Molly?
Go Molly.
We'll say Bud M. I'll say Bud M. Just the M. Start there in sixth.
Maybe Molly, you knew. I don't know.
Figure it out.
Here we go. Cody Graham going to lead this heat race number 2 to the green flag. Green flag is out. See, car just plow on the bottom, allowing Jeffrey Kemper to get the run on the high side. He's looking strong right now. Definitely a lot less tighter than the rest of the field, and they are going at it mid-back here. Oh, my.
Absolutely. Oh, and you still see more of that plowing as Cody Graham goes to the wall. He can't do anything. He goes around in the back. Well, this is a tight track right now. Meanwhile, Kemper out front, who really probably needs a win to kind of just cement that points lead and title for him. And still more cars around. Graham's going to retire it off in there along with Bud. Looks like Joseph is also, so a couple of them. That's going to leave old John Hine. Always told him he's got that cool Ray cruise shop machine out there, rowing his boat, looking strong. Right going up top, got Ed Moose hanging on to third. So everybody kind of spread out right now.
And field spread it out after some early lap contact. Jeffrey Kemper, white flag, looking strong, not as tight as everybody else was. So that just goes to show that Kemper might be a fan of these bull ring type of tracks.
Yeah, it seems like maybe the track could be flicking just a little bit up there on the top because they've been running it pretty good. And as the race goes on, that's just going to help, and he's going to bring it home. That brings us in our heat race number 3, Venom Racing. That's right, Venom Racing. They are the proud sponsor of the Coast to Coast Racing League 358 Modified. So check them boys out. As we look at the grid, Roger Craig's the only man sitting out front. Terry Landis there in second. Kurt Shatner third. Jeff Sharp there in fourth. Brian Dickens fifth. And Spees is going to be the man there in sixth. And Spees has been the dominant man all season.
I don't think Craig officially races in this. He's just a race control for late model.
That's right.
But Kurt Satzer coming in here 3 points behind your points leader, Kemper, who just won a heat race. Now be able to roll off in the pole. And, you know, we'll see if the trend continues. Every pole sitter has plowed going in turn 1, has not been able to hold on to the lead. So will Kurt hang in, or will Terry Landis take over?
Well, he's got Yoo-Hoo on there, so he's going to be sitting in that turn going, Yoo-Hoo!
You're you.
Love it, man. Love it. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Here live tonight, Topside Tuesday. Been a good season so far. There's the late models here on the dirt. Shatzer gets a jump, and Yoo-Hoo says, and man, the whole front 4 just took each other out, and Jeff Sharp's going, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Sharp is going to be sending everybody a Christmas card this year. He's like, thank you, I take the lead from dead last.
That was crazy. They all just kind of piled in, just fell over and whatnot. Now they put Spees in second, Dickens right there in third on his tail. And it looks like Landis, Schatzer, both. Well, Landis is still out there running, but he's all way off the pace. Schatzer's going to hang out into the pits. Sharp, a pretty good lead, 2.5 seconds over Spees. He's got his hands full with old Dickens. That was a crazy start to the heat race.
Absolutely. So Sharp out front comfortably. The battle is on there for second. Speed's just trying to hold off Dickens 2 more times. We're going to see the white flag. And Dickens a little bit too sideways there in 3.
Woo! Speeds is going to hang on to it. Dickens going to hang on the third. Sharp's going to pull this thing off. He, like you said, he's going to happy birthday me. I love it. Crazy start to that one. Wow. All right, little warm up, folks. We'll be right back here in just a few.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
All right, folks, now we're back here, Topside Tuesday, here with the Cool Rays late models. Man, it's been an interesting track so far for us, as now we're going to sit here and go with our Super Dirt Car Series lineup, as we just got done with our Sweekin Speedway warm-up and intermission. And right now, Super Dirt Car Series, well, they're the Northeast Premier Big Block Series. If you like some ground-pounding, earth-shattering, wind-rattling beasts from the Northeast, check out the Super Dirt Car Series. Let's look at the grid right fast, as you're going to look at Brandon Templeton out front, but everybody makes it all the way down to Cody Graham there in 17th spot. So, most notably, some guys, Patrick Spangler there in 13th, Schatzer there in 15th. Those two got their work cut out. B sitting there in 6th. Kemper's got the best spot of them all there in 2nd. We talked about the points. Kemper could still, hang on to this thing, even with the consistency. If they have bad nights, it makes it tougher as the weeks go on, Corey. But a win really would propel him and or put a heck of a foothold into that lead for him going into the rest of the weeks.
Absolutely, and looking now, so bonus points. They only get bonus points if they finish a certain amount of laps, it looks like, and finishing with 0 incident points as well. And most positions gained.
That's a question on that.
Aw.
Hey, you're a dirt racer. You're a dirt racer. I mean, how tough, and you know we talk about that on the asphalt side. How tough is it to go a race or a season without any incident points? Because, I mean, you're always out of control.
It is real hard, especially if you're towards the middle of the pack. If you're out front, you might be able to get away with 0 incidents, but definitely a whole lot harder, especially around a quarter-mile bull ring like we have here at Fairburn. We're getting fuzzy, baby.
Yeah, right now, man, and you can see in the back, they're already 2 or 3 wide. Already got a couple around. They have a salty dog caution. Well, they got salty on that one, didn't they? Looks like you went around. Jacob Moose crashing. Yeah, let's go back to Malcolm Mills replay. Check out. Because there was several cars involved on this one, and they got piled up back there a little bit. A little contact, a little bumping into butt. Yeah, it looks like Jacob Moose went around from there. You got Landis went around. Somebody wanted to get a yoo-hoo out of him. Somebody went up on top of the donuts in there. Man, just cars everywhere. But back real quick to that question I was asking since we're in the caution here. You know, we know getting up into the wall in an asphalt car, NASCAR side of things, you know, can cause like a 2X, 1X, et cetera, or, you know, getting off the track. How close is it here? Because we do see them tagging the wall a lot up there in that topside cushion. Is it different on dirt? Is there more of a leeway on dirt than it is maybe on asphalt?
Yeah, there definitely is a little bit of a wiggle room there, and here we go. Oh my, we got a car already off the pace at the back. Caution is back out.
Bud back here. Cody Graham also involved. And Bud crashing on the caution lap. What happened to Bud man? Go back and see, because I think it was involved with Cody Graham here. Oh, they were trying to catch up on the restart. Bud comes up through here. Yeah, they just didn't get lined up. Bud came up there, got the side of Cody a little bit. They just didn't get lined up for the start, I think.
Yeah, it had to have been for Bud stopping there immediately on the track.
Though?
Looks like Kemper.
Yeah, man, I mean, we've talked about it. He comes in here with a 3-point lead. He has no wins. I mean, I don't want to take that anything away from him because, I mean, he's leading the points. You know, and I've always said, you know, I'm a firm believer. Consistency wins championships. You know, you theoretically could win a championship and never win a race if you're that good at being consistent. But winning this thing tonight would definitely help us. He gets to jump out front, and already cars around. Boy, we got a big one. It's the junkyard.
Oh, no caution. There's our solid dog caution after a couple of them flip.
Yeah, let's go here. Jeffrey Sharp, Malcolm Mills replay. Let's watch, because yeah, Sharp got tagged around. The 72 went around. He went off the track, but he did a full 180, but then it happened in front. Yeah. Sharp got there. You got 2 cars, man, going upside down. We got dead turtles, man, everywhere. Wow. Oh, and Speed's involved in that one, too.
Yeah,
wow.
He was one of the ones upside down.
Points implications, man. Let's watch it one more time. Malcolm Mills here. He's in that purplish style machine. Oh, he gets tagged right after it. Upside down. Luckily, comes back on his wheels. Don't have to tow. Whoever the other one is, though, not so fortunate.
Joe Moose.
Oh, so dead moose on the track. Somebody come and get their moose. But that's going to hurt points-wise, and you want to talk about, as we go back green real quick, we just talked about Kemper being consistent, no wins. Bees has 4 wins and sits 3rd in the points. So just like that, tonight could really hurt him and some of those guys could leapfrog him. But right now, Kemper's doing what he needs out front. Meanwhile, mid-pack here, you got Ed Moose, man, Dickens, Schatzer, who is another one. They're digging and clawing their way through the field. Still, this track looks awful tight here, Corey.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit tighter than I'm used to seeing Fairbury being. Has to be the way the car is set up and how this track is. Maybe weather as well. And we got another Salty Dog caution.
Ed Moose, man. Somebody done ran a moose over again. Oh, boy. Man. I don't know if I want to hit a moose. It ain't like hitting a deer. Yeah, luckily he didn't get upside down. He almost got up on them two wheels. Kemper still out front looking to get that first win here of the season. And, man, I'm going to tell you what, with those other guys having problems, this actually could bode well for him if he does. I mean, Schatzer's the only one right there. Now, Spangler has moved up. Spangler right now up 7 spots. Schatzer's up 10. So Spangler's there in 6. But the man who is hurting tonight, Spees. And, we're talking about those 4 because of the top 4 in points. And between those 4, it's only like, maybe 10 points, give or take, between them. So here we go. Single file start. About to get going. I think we got, 20 to go?
Yeah, lap 7 clocked in there. The Kemper out front definitely helping them out on the single file restarts. They are going at it, though, about third.
What I'm seeing right now here, Corey, is as tight as this track is, they're getting into each other because the car in front is just plowing into the dirt. It's almost like they got a shovel or a bulldozer in the front of those things, and it's just digging into the dirt. We're not used to seeing the car do that. And unfortunately, the car in front's slowing up. The guy behind him doesn't have enough time to react, and they get in the back of him. We've seen it a lot. As opposed to normally these guys are awful slick.
Kemper in the wall there.
It's going to take some laps, and yeah, he falls all the way back to third. And again, just what I was talking about right there, John Hine got stuffed in as we're under caution. There's Ed, but on Jacob right here too. So you got Malcolm Mills replay. It might not be Joseph Grandy. Ed was involved also. Oh, yeah, just a little tag in the back. And again, I go back to that, and I know you're seeing the same thing I am, is the guy in front plows into the dirt, and it just slows them. It's almost like on the asphalt side when a guy kind of checks up going to the turn, and you just don't got enough time to react. Same here tonight. You don't see it a lot in dirt that way. And usually you see a guy maybe doing a slide job or something like that. Here, it's almost like the guy in front just can't. But, hey, that caution was a saving grace to Kemper. Gets his lead back.
Yeah, absolutely. That caution saved Kemper. He plowed up into the wall, lost 2 spots, but did not get the lap scored. You got to have the leader pass the line and maybe even second place past the line before it accounts for that lap. So definitely a lifesaver there for Kemper. Here we go once again. Kemper, a good start. He's just got to keep it out of that wall. And this track, a quarter-mile bull ring, might be the favorite place for Kemper. And Kemper gets a little snoop from behind from Templeton. Templeton gets burned. Oh my!
Man, boy, we watched it live, but let's go back and watch it one more time. And yeah, Kemper got up there and just slapped the side of the wall, man, real hard. Boom! Oh, he actually got a little help, and then just got up there and banged that wall. Then Templeton, like you said, spun it. Salty Dog caution, Malcolm Mills replay. I got to give hats off to the drivers because this track looks pretty treacherous.
Yeah, definitely being a quarter mile and being as tight it is in the corners. I mean, you got to really send it in on the bottom on corner entry if you want to clear a slide job. And
yeah,
just not a whole lot of room to attempt on.
Right, with you on that one. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Check out the Coast to Coast Racing League here, and check us out on c2crl.com for all the latest info and up and coming events. I mean, like I say, we're closing out here in the spring season. Got about another 3 weeks or so to go here, and closing on out. It's been a very interesting here for the Topside Tuesday, and we got the hometown heroes tomorrow. Don't want to miss that. Got a lot of great dirt racing and on car tours as we go back green. Definitely check those guys out. Single file restart. Kemper out front. Meanwhile, well, they're already back at it back there, man, beating on each other, man, around 4th and 5th place spot.
Yeah, Chapman up top there. Kurt Satzer trying to work his way around on the bottom. The bottom might be coming in now. You got a little bit of slickness on corner entry, able to get it a little sideways. Turn down towards the bottom, but not quite. So the first battle now is for 5th. That's Jacob Moose on the inside of Spangler. Spangler just held up from behind Kurt Satzer right now.
And what you can see, old Spangler, he's wanting to get up front, maybe make up some time or make up to get some points and position. Meanwhile, solid, good battle going on around the 6th and 7th place spots. You got Landis and old Jacob Moose back there battling.
Yeah, Moose just not able to power out of the corner like he can on the high side. Landis in the Yoo-Hoo car able to get the momentum built up on the high side. Barely squeaks on by. Now he does squeak on by. Full car length there over Jacob Moose. And Spangler up into Kurt Satzer there right in front of those drivers.
Oh, they're almost 3 wide. Oh, Landis goes up the track, and we got flying Yoo-Hoos on the track. Caution out. Templeton's in trouble again. Go back on our Malcolm Mills replay. Assaulted dog caution.
A flying Yoo-Hoo.
Flying Yoo-Hoo, he did. Boy, he got that thing up on a thing there. Woo! Templeton just got the bad end of the stick on that one. They're making it exciting. They're making it exciting. I'll give them credit.
Absolutely, but I mean, Kemper's still out front. You know, I like the bull rings, and I imagine Kemper is liking the bull ring. It helped a lot that he started good in his heat race, was able to pick up that heat race win, put him in a good spot for the feature. But I mean,
how many of these guys out here are liking it?
Probably only Kemper and maybe John Hine.
Yeah, it's been a rough sledding so far for some of these guys.
Kemper still out front, gonna lead this thing back to the green, gonna take over to lap 20 once they cross under this flag stand here on front stretch it here at Fowles. Oh, and Hine around. Uh-oh.
Ow.
Yellow flag is out.
Caution out. Let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay. You got Joe Moose was involved with that one. Like you said, John Hine. Ooh, watch it one more time. Exactly what happened here. And John right there, somebody put a hole in his boat. Sunk him on the track. See again. Kemper's dodged some bullets up here tonight, so he's got luck on his side. Man, better go buy a lottery ticket. Green flag here, watching this play. Like Kemper gets a little tight, and then the white car behind them just gets spinning, and from there, it's a parking lot. Crazy, man. I got to put most of this on this track here.
Yeah, I'd say it's the fault of the track here. I mean, we ain't gonna put fault at any of the drivers. It's just so hard to get around on this track, especially if you're not used to the bull ring style of racing. But Kemper out front, now Spangler up in the second. You have Kurt Satzer, who sits in second in points, trying to battle around, not quite able to get it done on the inside. Now Jacob Moose down on the bottom, trying to utilize that tacky grip down there, just a little bit tight.
Yeah. This is what Spangler wants, man, right now. He wants to be right there on the back bumper. He'd love to be one position in front of Kemper to make some points up. But, I mean, at least, if anything, he needs to be right there and keep Kemper honest as you see this battle, like you said, with Landis, Spees, Graham. I mean, Spees has been able to fight back and get up here with some of these cautions. And, boy, I don't know who that got in the wall. Oh, but old Landis, and there goes Hines, going to drag him all the way down the front stretch. Are you kidding?
Caution, yellow flag.
And there's our caution. Oh, my.
Wow. Go back one more time, watch it. We were watching it live. Landis up here minding his own business. Next thing you know, he's upside down, or not upside down, but he's on top of another car getting drove around the track. And John, he's up underneath. John gets in the wall a little bit there. Car in front gets in the wall. Landis is pushing another car. Then Landis is on top of John. John's going, wait a minute. Not what I am. I'm not a transport service. Holy cow.
I don't think I've ever seen 3 cars on top of one another.
That's what I'm saying. That's a new way of getting around the track without using fuel. You know, that's fuel conservation mode right there. You know. So, folks, if you ever want to save fuel on a dirt track, there you go. Just go jump on the top of somebody.
So which one would save the most fuel? Would it be the car in the middle or the one on the top? But
Ooh,
the 3
that's a
cars
good
back?
question, man. I don't know. That's good. Wow.
Well, Kemper out in control here, still, and good start over Spangler. Spangler, he's going to have his work cut out to try to catch up to Kemper. Kemper, he just has to keep it smooth. Spangler still in second, and we got another Salty Dog caution. Who are we calling it for? Not quite sure.
Looks like Cherry Landis again. Boy, the Yoo-Hoo man tonight has not had a very, very good time. Let's go back and watch on the Malcolm Mills replay. He might need to change from Yoo-Hoo to Jack Daniels because he's going to need a whole bottle after tonight. Like, Jack up on the start, Hine didn't get going, or Landis didn't get going, and just something back there went wacky. Crazy.
Wild.
Has been.
That's what comes out when you race on a quarter-mile bull ring here at Fairbury, aka Falls. We definitely got Fallsy here, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's. I mean, I'm with you. These tracks are exciting, but for some reason, this track, it's like you said earlier. It's still tacky. I think if it wasn't so tacky, it might be a little bit better. You know, because these cars right now are just plowing into the track, and it's causing a lot of checkup for the car in front, and the guy in the back just doesn't have enough time to react.
Another thing is that cushion, it hasn't built up as much as it usually does around here on the high side, so not a whole lot of dirt to catch you on a slide. And look at this, almost 3 wide there. You had Spangler, Spees in the middle, and Jacob Moose still trying to roll the bottom in the tacky. You see Templeton right there in the black and green car right behind him. He's working the bottom as well, and oh my, we're going to go almost 3 wide. Thought about it for a moment. Not quite. 2 to go for your leader out front, Kemper, and Kemper, he's going to see the white flag.
Yeah, you got the white flag one more time. Kemper, Spangler right there doing what he needs to do. Spees is up there. You got Jacob Moose. Big battle right here with Spees and Templeton as they come around. Final time, it's going to be Kemper going to win it here tonight. Spangler's going to bring her home in second as Jacob Moose going to hang on. He drag races to the line and holds on to third. Spees fights back to fourth, though, so he saves a little bit of points here tonight on that. But Jeffrey Kemper finally cracking the bottle open and getting that win, that much-needed win that we were talking about all night long. Definitely going to help him in points. Spangler still going to keep him honest. Right there on his back bumper. Let's bring up old Spangler. Let's get a word with him.
Hey there, Patrick. You got a copy on me?
Yep, gotcha.
Well, man, holding on to second in this crazy race at Fairbury. Just talk us through it.
Well, I survived the Demolition Derby here tonight. I think I passed 1 car on the track, and the rest were all just wrecks I passed. So just a 1-lane track with a setup that I like to push it anywhere other than the top. So just try to play conservative and just keep running the same line and let other people mess up.
Now, you mentioned how the car wanted to push all night long. Was that just because of the track condition, or do you think it was set up?
I don't run the pro lates too much, but usually on some of these smaller tracks, they don't have enough power to kick the back end around, and then they're super tight. So I think it's just a mix of guys not running them that much and it being tight if you don't know how to run it. So I couldn't get a hold of it anywhere else. So I don't know, to be honest. More of a sprint car guy.
Alrighty, well, man, you still got second place. You got anybody like to thank tonight for your outstanding performance?
Yeah, just you and Joe for the awesome broadcast each week. Roger running the league, Train Wheels Racing, and Dan Uncle back home watching.
Yeah, folks, your second place driver, Patrick Spangler.
Absolutely, but let's bring up the guy here who finally put in victory lane. Jeffrey, Joe in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
Finally been able to break through, man, on the bottle, put it in victory lane. Hey, you came in here with a 3-point lead here tonight with no wins, so you've been very dead on consistent. This win here tonight really helps you on the points. But how was that track? I mean, that thing looked awful tight.
Oh, yeah, it was very tight. Definitely had to run up on the high side to get any drive off the corner. But, yeah, there's a very fine line up there. But I couldn't ask for a better night to get a first place. You know, just got into the points lead. Granted, I am one race more than everyone, so we'll see when the drops happen. But this definitely helped me out quite a bit. And I believe it's my first win in the late models with Coast to Coast Racing League. So pretty happy about it, for sure.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, coming at a great time. Like I say, we're running down here final weeks, like you said, taking the points lead. Only came in with a 3-point lead, but this win here definitely helps it. Now you got Patrick Spangler still chewing at you back in, but man, hey, you came home nonetheless, won it tonight on a tough track. You got anybody you want to thank?
Oh, yeah, I got to thank the Gambler Motorsports teammates. It was nice actually having 4 of us in there, or yeah, 4 of us tonight. So that worked out good. I was hoping to get a Gambler 1, 2, 3 on the podium there, but you know, circumstances happened. And got to give a shout out to Aiden Young and Young Gun Creations. He does the paint on all my vehicles. You guys should check him out. Actually pretty budget friendly, good cost for what he does. And I'd like to thank Lynn Gear Company. I'd like to thank Cool Ray Heating and Cooling, Andy Piercefield and Travis for everything they do for Gambler Motorsports and League. I got to thank Extreme eSpeed TV, also the same people, what they do for the league. And then I got to thank you, Joe, and Corey for everything you guys do.
Absolutely. We talk about the man. You're at the Extreme eSpeed TV Victory Lane. There you go. Jeffrey Kemper putting it in the winning circle finally. Again, congratulations there, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, guys.
There we go. Well, let's bring up all the Moose man up here. Jacob Moose came up here with a good run. Let's get a word with him.
Well, hey, Jacob, you got a copy on me?
I sure do.
Well, you're the highest finishing moose of all the mooses here at Fairbury, and third. Just talk us through that race.
Yeah, so it started off pretty hairy, and I forgot what caution was, but Joe ended up flipping over in front of me. I tried to flip him back over, and it didn't go well, so I just focused on racing after that. And I don't know, it was a pretty hectic race there. It was a lot of fun, because I don't know how to drive these things. It's my 3rd time in it. So to come all the way with a podium, you know, against Spangler, he's pretty good, and Kemper. So it's pretty cool to finish up with those guys. And I think I could have got Spangler at the end, but I just kept it on the bottom the whole time because I don't trust myself against the wall yet. So I don't know. I just played it easy, rolled the bottom, and just let them all wreck.
Absolutely. You look professional out there on the bottom. You got anybody like to thank tonight for your outstanding performance?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Ice Hot Rods, my brothers, Graham Racing, Cody, John. It's just fun to race with those guys and just have a blast.
There you have, folks, your 3rd place man, the Moose man, Jacob Moose.
Absolutely, and a good one there, man, tonight, having a good run. Well, folks, don't go anywhere. We got some car tours coming up here. Oh, actually, that's tomorrow night. My bad. I'll get it right here. We got some NASCAR trucks coming up here. We'll be right back here in a few. All right, folks, here we go. More Topside Tuesday here. Now we got the Lucy Olson Mission 22 NASCAR pickup trucks here. And this one ought to be pretty good. Pretty good here. Darlington. Track Too Tough to Tame. Lady in Black. Now, you know, I'm a NASCAR fan. Watched this since way back in the 80s, early 80s. And I always knew Too Tough to Tame, but I gotta admit, now I know you know the late great Tim McBrayer. You know who he was, Corey. Was the first one to introduce me to the other nickname of this track, the Lady in Black. I had never heard that before.
I heard it called the Lady in Black. When did you learn about it, Jeff?
Well, it's been several years ago. I mean, but still, I always knew Too Tough to Tame. You know, like Darlington's, like Dover's got, the Monster Mile and all that. But I just never had heard. I mean, I might have heard it and then just didn't pay it no attention. But we were talking about it one night on a race, and he mentioned it. I was like, really? Okay, cool. I mean, this is a tough track. You're going to get that Darlington stripe up there against the wall. It's just unique how you go into the turns here. Very tough place to pass. Usually single groove style racetrack. It kind of sucks you into the wall. Just a very, very technical style oval.
Absolutely, and we talk about the Lady in Black. They also have the term Darlington stripe because they run all the way up by that wall. Yeah.
Here we go. Bring it over to some qualifying here and see what these guys can come up with. But we talk about points. We talked about it there in the late models. Look at it right here. We're looking as heading into race 7 here, or actually heading into race number 8. There's standings after 7. Sean Grace been the man dominating. He's got 2 wins. I want to say dominating, but 2 wins on the season. He owns it out there by about like 50 points, give or take, over Brad Wetzel, who has no wins, which we saw that earlier. Jeffrey Kemper just finally got his win, cracked it open. And then you got that Stephen Goldner, sits there in 3rd, got a win. Christopher Schaefer in 4th, and Doyle Lawrence rounds the 5th place spot. So I'm not quite sure how the point structure works here in the NASCAR. Maybe Roger can shed some light on that for us, how many points they get, how that works, and let us know that, is there a chance that Wetzel can knock Grace off that top spot?
I can almost say there's a good chance he can. And now Jacob Moose, who we just talked to again after getting a 3rd place in the Pro Late model, he's on top of the board. And never mind, Kyle Moonen moves up.
Oh yeah,
that's by almost 2 whole tenths right now. Now a 10th difference back to Brad Wetzel. Wetzel, it would have run in on a 29.267. That'll put him up in the 2nd. Still a few cars left to qualify.
So it looks like Grace, our points man right now, not here.
He's not even here.
Uh-oh. So, Wetzel here? Yes, he is. So, just talked about, can he leapfrog him? Well, that's one way of doing it. Had the guy not show up. Again, they do have a drop week, I think.
Do they?
Do they?
Yeah, that I'm not sure, honestly.
I'm gonna say they do until I hear otherwise. How's that?
That sounds like a good idea.
I mean, yeah. Do we get undisputed confirmation? What's up, Kemper? Let's go, Gambler Motorsports. Yeah, y'all did good last time, man. John, just a little bit of hiccup on that tough track, but see right there, John Hine, all fine there in 11th. Not bad. Darlington. You know, we talk about, obviously this is fixed setup, but if you were doing an open setup and in real life, setting up for this track, both sides of the track is different. 3 and 4, 1 and 2. When setting this track up, you pretty much have got to get one turn kind of neutral, and you either got to set up for one or the other. You're either setting up for 3 or 4, setting up for 1 and 2, and then you got to pray you get the other one kind of neutral set because they are so different.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I'd rather have it set up good for 3 and 4 because that's where you're gonna maybe pick up the win from is coming out of 4.
I'm with you on that one, you know, and then hopefully I can kind of just get a happy medium on 1 and 2, like you said. You know, a lot of tracks are that way where they're kind of, you know, oblong looking. You know, one side's different from the other turn, so you gotta pick and choose which one you want to be better in. Like you just said, I agree with that. I'd probably want to go with 3 and 4.
And you know, the reason behind why both ends are different is that one end of the track, there was a minnow pond that the owner refused to locate, and that's why it's different.
Where's the pond?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here. It don't say which corner. It says one end of the track.
Because I was looking at that overhead shot, I didn't see a pond in there. Is it outside the track or is it inside?
I don't know.
Hey, right there's a good shot. I'm gonna stop it for a second, folks, and
it's on the west side of the property.
Huh.
It's either still there or, you know, I don't know. It don't say.
Well, I mean, from this shot here, it's not showing, so who knows what they've done over the years, you know what I mean? But we're going to grid them up. So getting set here to go green flag here tonight. Kyle Moonen, go to the man out front. Let me splash up here and let you see what the grid looks like. Got a good field, 23 machines out here. Well, can these guys tame the track here tonight?
Well, someone's going to tame it. Someone's going to come home in a victory. Everybody else, they might have a Darlington stripe, and even still, the winner might have a Darlington stripe.
Mooning out front. That's a very patriotic paint job. Oh, Eddie Moose has got. Moose Racing right beside it. Wetzel got, he's got a look, buy right. I like looking at some of these paint jobs. He got some real nice ones.
Maybe a couple of throwbacks out here.
Yeah.
Sure, which one? I see Doyle Lawrence back there. He has a Dale Earnhardt paint.
Him in just a second here. Kind of swapping through. Yeah, there you go. Silver one. Cody. Chapman is not gridded. That's what we're waiting on. Gives us a little time here to run through and just kind of briefly look at some of the paint jobs. So some nice looking ones, like Zachary Chapman's not going to grid her up here. So here we go. Look pro, go slow. That's funny. I would be just look slow, feel slow. Corey's is, I don't know. I was looking on the back of that one. It says, look pro, go slow. I said mine would be look slow, still slow. Yours would just be, I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. Who's going to be able to tame the track tonight, or track going to tame them? Getting set here to go Darlington, South Carolina, right below where I'm at here. Up above it. Carolinas. Pace cars in. Mission 22 restart zone. Lucy Olson, green flag in the air. We're racing in Darlington.
Green flag.
Here we go, 75 laps to figure this track out, and that's going to be a dandy. Moonin still edging out ahead of Edward Moose. And a little bit loose for Moonin there, and Wetzel way down below the racing line. He'll fall back immediately. He'll fall in line behind John Hine.
Not where you want to be right there, like you said. Got off the track. Can't go down there on that bottom. You got to stay there. Meanwhile, up front battle. 4th place, Moonin. Joe Moose right there. Got to get in line. Again, very tough place to pass. You can slingshot coming off the turn. But you see, they go into those turns low, but instantly that truck shoots straight to the wall. That's where the Darlington stripe comes in. Trying to make it off the turn. You still get pushed up a little bit coming out of the turn into the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this, Joe. We got Moose, Moose, and Moose.
Triple Moose up front. It's the Moose show, man. I tell you what, knew it had to happen eventually. You got Eddie, Jacob, Joe. I mean, hey. And then Moonin right behind them. So we got a Moose patrol going on.
And the other fun part there is Edward Moose has made 1 spot up. Jacob Moose has made 2. And Joe Moose has made up 3. So it matches their position on how many cars they've made up.
Wreck. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Big one, too. So John Hine spinning it out here. It's going to Malcolm Mills replay. Salty dog caution, but John goes on the inside, gets into an, looks like Cranmer, then spins around, hits the wall again, gets stuck, gets thrown back, gets shot into the air through the moon. Wow. He's in VR. Somebody better go, man, check on him. Meanwhile, Brad Wetzel, though, points man, one of the points man, getting involved with this a little bit. John just goes around and then bam, right on the inside wall, shoots him straight up the track. Oh, then gets clobbered out of 302.
It's Rainer.
Woo. Boom. Mayhem. Darlington.
Remember, each driver, they get 1 quick fix, so Wetzel, Rainer, and Hine, all 3, they're definitely going to have to take a fast repair here.
Wetzel, though, like I say, coming in here, he did not need that. He needs to capitalize on this, that Grace is not being here. And being in 21st spot's not the way he wants to capitalize.
Absolutely not how you want to start out this race, and had to take a tow, so going to go at least a couple laps down before he's able to officially take his quick fix, and then he'll need some luck here with cars crashing out and getting back on the lead lap.
All right. That's it.
Be interesting to see which lane Ed Moose takes here for the restart. Gonna imagine the Mooses are all working with each other.
Absolutely. That's a Moose Brigade. Solid field so far.
Absolutely. Still 20 cars being scored on the lead lap behind, and Wetzel still in the pits. They'll go 3 laps down, I do believe now.
It's not what he wanted. Needed a good night. Lights off on the pace car. It's set to go back green here. Topside Tuesday, folks. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit the likes and shares out there in the league. Appreciate it. Live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube. Over on Facebook at OSR Network and DirtFan.com. Got triple Moose action up front. Always wanted to see that so I could go
Oh no, not the moose sounds.
The moose sound. About what it's going to sound like when they take off. Give or take. Kind of interesting though. How all the mooses, man, going on the same manufacturers though? Must be one of them families where they argue about it.
Edward Moose in the Chevy, the other two in a Ford. And here we go. Not a good launch there for Joseph Moose, but good launch for Jacob Moose. He'll be able to take over the lead from Edward Moose. And now mooning on the high side of Edward Moose coming out of turn number 2. They're going to be a dead even
Here's the thing
mooning.
on that, Corey. I would pretty much have taken. I don't know why he would have stayed on the inside. I know normally most guys do, but here the high side is where it's probably more dominant as you get that run coming off the turn, and that really hurt Eddie for the most part. Dropped him back to 3rd, like you said, and Joe way back to 5th. B's up there to 4th, and then Jacob out front. So, yeah, not the start that he wanted.
Yeah, both Mooses on the bottom lost T-spots exactly, but now Joe Moose fighting back on the inside of Stephen Spees going down turn number 3. The inside might not be the most dominant lane, but if you're on the high side, if you scrape the wall, it will slow down the momentum. You see Joe Moose, he's now got room to clear. He does.
Woo! Had to get up there, man, cut the nose off there. Spees a little bit. Spees right behind him. Little check up behind them. Oh, Dominic Gale right there with the Lynch and Thompson. What's up, BB? How you doing? Again, 3 by 3 here. Meanwhile, Jacob Moose out front, mooning there in 2nd. So this is what you get with Darlington, a little cluster style leads. Let's go back a little further here, around about 15th place spot. Stephen Bixler's hanging on to it. Palmer Lee's back there in 16th. You got Cranmer up to 17th. Rayner. Roger Craig's out here in the 747 machine, hanging on there to 19th. Offit, Wetzel back on the track. He's hoping, man, for some paydays, man, on some cautions to help him out a little bit. All Jacob out front leading this thing.
And John Hine is back on the track. Already a little bit of damage on that 71 truck, though.
Yeah, that's bad. Huh. Brian says, hey, Joe, and the other guy. And the one and only dude. I saw that, BB. I just missed it.
The yellow flag is out.
Trying to look at everything. I saw you. You got you.
No, started dog caution, and it's Hine.
Not high, not having the night he wants. Go to Malcolm Mills, replay C. There by himself. Oh, truck got in the wall in front of him. He had no way to stop it. And again, hard in the wall. So punching holes in that boat. Not what he wants to see.
That was Gary Offit, one getting up in the wall, and Hine, just unfortunately, terrible night tonight, both in the Pro Late model and in the trucks here. Going to end his night early.
Helps old Brad Wetzel.
Well, did Wetzel get any incident point out of it? His truck looks pretty clean. We'll see if he gets a lucky dog here.
Just give me about another 3 of those. At least 2. Well, we'll find out here in a second if he gets that lucky dog, like you said. He'll need some help getting back on that lead lap. I didn't see him get involved with that wreck.
He was right there near it, but I didn't officially see him touch anything. But
Could be him getting the lucky. Else's lap down. Not that I saw, anyway.
unless he
While we're here in the
scraped the
yep,
wall.
there he goes. He's getting it now.
Yep,
So, while we're in the caution, tomorrow night, tune in here at Coast to Coast Racing Network, OSR Network on Facebook. We got the Hometown Heroes, and been tuning into that. It's been an exciting series over at Old Knoxville. Got a lot of great racing as we start out with a dirt track racing. Got all the wing sprint cars, that is, the 305, 360, 410s. Then we go to the car tours, late models on the asphalt side of things. That's your Hometown Heroes. Go to the c2crl.com. Get all the information on that one. And also got to give another good shout out to a great sponsor who has been here. Steve King Foundation. He does the Steve King Foundation was formed to help dirt track racing communities across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, and racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those who are suffering severe illness, injury, or death. And unfortunately, we have seen, racing is a very dangerous sport. This is virtual wise here, but in the real world, unfortunately, we've seen a lot of incidents and people actually losing their life this year and in the past, guys getting hurt. It's good to have a foundation like that. So the Steve King Foundation, proud here. You got your C2C Racing School. Check out more information on that at c2crl.com. If you're interested in the league, check out c2crl.com for the Coast to Coast Racing League. All the scheduling, all the info you'll need, definitely. And got to shout out to the other. Yeah, got to give a shout out to the other guy. I'm trying to. I hear you. Yeah, well, you're still trying to recover from the cannon.
The cannon.
We'll have to do another boy shooting one night.
So mean.
Hey, look cool. I thought.
Well, here we are. We're doubled back up. Jacob Moose is going to be in control, electing to take the bottom over Kyle Moonen. You have Edward Moose third, and Joe Moose. He'll be able to start on the outside here.
Yeah. Okay. Go back green, like you said. Off on that pace car.
Some Mooses versus the moon.
Pace car coming out of 4. Gonna drop off. We're getting set to our mission 22 restart zone. Lucy Olson, green flag. About to wave. Set us up to go back. Green flag here at Darlington.
Green flag, green flag.
Here we go. Good launch for Jacob Moose. This time he's going to clear Kyle Moonen down in turn number 1. Edward Moose going to look on the inside of Kyle Moonen coming out of turn number 2, but the high side going to be able to hold the momentum up. Yep.
Wow. That means right there you got Jacob out front, Moonen right behind him. Eddie Moose right there coming up in the 3rd. Joe Moose right behind him. So the Moose gang going to try to see if they can't gang up on Moonen. B's back in the 5th place spot. You got Lynch hanging on the 6th. So we got to go all the way back a little bit further. Which everybody's staying single file right now.
Greg Parmalee grabbed the wall there mid-pack, and Rayner a little bit sideways there back in 14th area.
About the nearest where you get kind of side by side. That's kind of Darlington for you. You go single file, then the guy might pick them off one by one here because you really don't get a lot of this side by side action for long periods of time here on this track. So they go single file, and then you kind of see what's happening right here. As a guy might just start picking them off, and then you see a little bit of door banging.
Wow, look at that move now from a both Edward and Joe Moose. They're going to take over the lead. Edward Moose now in front of Jacob Moose. Put the slider. Oh my. Shut the door and Kyle Moonen behind him a little loose, and the Mooses are all hitting each other. Caution is already out. Oh wow. Whoa.
Cody Graham, though, is the one involved with the caution. Let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay and see what happened. That was nowhere near where the action was going on up front, as Graham went for a woo.
Wow.
That's NASCAR SpaceX. Gone.
Let's get a replay back up for the fans there on that Moose move of the race.
Yeah, let's go here. Okay, we're Jacob. He gets into the wall, and he gets hit as Moonen runs up on the back of him. The other Moose says, okay, we're going to take advantage of that. They go on the inside. They're going to go take the lead from him. He goes way into the turn too hard, gets pushed up, comes down the track. They get into each other. They're beating and banging. They're trying to take all three of themselves out. Whoa, he's down there, man. Got that thing sideways, skidding it. Hangs on to it. Caution comes out in the meantime. What a wild one. Now they got to come in and say, you know what, we need tires because we just destroyed all those. And it says, Brad and Kyle did some asphalt racing last weekend at New Park Speedway in
New Paris.
Okay, so New Paris Speedway in New Paris, Indiana. Brad finished third in his number 16 street stock, and Kyle finished 8th in his Haas 72 modified. Okay, good. Congratulations to them. Awesome. Nice.
So this helps out Brad Wetzel, who needs one more lucky dog after this caution. He's in 1 lap down. He will officially pass Cody Graham for position. That'll put him up into the top 20.
Well, looks like your top 7 didn't pit, but they did pit on lap 13. A couple of them pitted on lap 13 and 14 when those cautions came out. But as hard as it is to pass here, might not be a bad move, but I don't know if they can go the distance. Now, we got fooled before, so I don't know.
Even if they can go the distance for Doyle Lawrence, who's out front, pitted back on 13, the tires are going to be the factor. A few laps around this track just wears your tires in a whole lot more than we seen last week at Kansas. So, but you know, I mean, he has plenty of cars right behind him to hold off the first car on new tires. It's going to be Jacob Moose and Eddie Moose. We'll see how long it takes for the Mooses or somebody else to get up to the front.
All right. Got Lawrence, Cranmer, Parmalee, Thomason. That's another thing. You got to be careful coming through the field here because you can get in trouble real quick.
Yeah, not to mention Cranmer and Parmalee. Cranmer came back in on lap 4. Parmalee has not even pitted yet. So those tires are even more worn out than, say, Doyle. And even still, Doyle came in on 13 and looks like it only took fuel, maybe right side tires.
Okay.
So Peter Thompson, theoretically the guy with the newer tires at the front here, he'll line up in 4th. It's Thompson, Joe, not Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson.
No, it ain't.
Is it Thompson?
Uh-huh. This is a mixed bag of tires and no tires and fuel. Okay, DB, you gotta settle the debate. Is it Thompson or Thompson?
I don't know what. Hey, look, didn't we have a video, man, on how it said how to pronounce it?
Yes. And it said it the way I say it.
We'll go with Thompson. That's fine. Bumps. Either way, we're going back green. Let's see how well these guys up front hold up. Mission 22 restart zone, and that Lucy Olson green flag about to fly. We're back racing, Darlington style, and they got a lot of checkup in the back.
Yeah, a lot of checkup at the front, spread out the field. Doyle able to lead them down in turn number 1 and 2, and oh my, look at this, we got a moose sideways, and they did not officially crash hard enough for a caution. That is really going to jumble up the field.
Oh, they're still sideways in the back. The Cisco machine, and what is that? I think it's not Moonin. It's Jacob. Boy, had that thing all kind of crooked. Checking up the field a little bit, so not what he wants. But again, even though new tires, got to give them a lap or so to get warmed up. If not, well, they're about as slick as old tires.
Yeah, you've seen exactly what happened. Oh my, little contact, Bixler into Galanti. Bixler gonna slide back up in front of Roger Craig. Oh no, Craig upside down.
Go to Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened. Salty dog caution. Bixler's right there. Watch this one. Goes by himself. Up into the wall, and the car behind him nowhere to go. Oh, he gets up in that wall again, bounce off of it. Hard in the wall, slings him back up the track, and Roger just couldn't do nothing. Ouch.
Give Roger style points on that flip, though.
See that? Flip to 747.
So now Wetzel officially going to be able to be on the lead lap. He'll get the lucky dog, the last one that he needed.
What he needed.
Yeah.
Cautions. Help. Definitely need some help. All right, get back out here. Lawrence still holding the top spot. How well he can hold on to it, because top 3 have yet to make a pit stop, but they made it on lap 13. So Joe Moose is the first one who made it on lap 21, along with Jacob right behind him.
Yeah, so 2 of your Mooses able to come out of there with not a whole lot of damage. Edward Moose, who did smack the wall at the back end. Back end is a little hurt. The front end is fine. The other 2 Mooses, Joe and Jacob. Jacob has a little right front. Joe looks to be the cleanest of the 3 Mooses. And Moon in there has a little bit of front end on the Budweiser machine. And right side damage.
Yep. Orange got his Darlington stripes up there in the front. You can see them. Right side of that machine. Let to go back green. Been a good one here. The Topside Tuesday. Here with the pick 'em up trucks. NASCAR style.
Bixler and Graham, both of those drivers taking a collar side. They'll call it a night. There'll be a couple more spots for Wetzel to hang in. Craig going down at least 2, going to go 3 down. As the field rolls on by, and still Doyle pitted back on 13, didn't take tires. And Kramer back on 4. These drivers, they got to be easy on it. They got to be careful. Joe Moose and Jacob Moose, they got to be real easy getting around them on the green flag.
Back up. Let's go back green. Off on that pace car. We might go to nighttime here. Car coming out of 4. Set to go. Mission 22 restart. The Olsen green flag. Joey Lawrence out front in this one. Go back racing, Darlington style.
See Doyle, he gets a good launch out front. He's going to bring Joe Moose with him on the inside. Joe Moose able to get in front of Kramer. Here comes Jacob Moose now, and he rockets on by Kramer on those old tires, and we already got a salty dog caution out once again. Who is involved?
Spees. What happened to Spees here on the mouth? Oh, he just went up the track. A truck right there with him. Next thing you know, he's going around. Quite sure I would have turned left up on the track. Truck right there clear. Got him. Wow.
Is it just me, or is Doyle disappeared?
Went and I went in the pits.
There he is. He's back now, but he's going down pit road and disconnected from the server.
Oh, heartbreak.
Wow. Connection problems for that number 3 driver of Doyle Lawrence. That will now move Joe Moose to the lead and put Jacob Moose into second. Kyle Moonen back up third, and still Edward Moose in fourth. So it's been the Moose versus the Moon tonight.
All right. Let's go back green again. Tell you, Darlington, tough track.
Absolutely tough track to get around and conquer.
Yeah, so that puts Joe Moose back out front. Jacob right behind him, Kyle Moonen and Eddie. So pretty much the top 4, how it was before all the cycle pit stops. Now, Jeff Fitzpatrick quietly moving up 15 spots. So he's our hard charger.
Absolutely. And it looked like the last time he came in, the pit road maybe got a little bit of damage fixed on that truck.
Very nice.
Yeah, he did. He had to have gotten damage fixed because he did go for a little spin there earlier on. Not to mention Roland Olson. Lucy Olson's dad.
Yeah, that's awesome to see him out here.
Proud father.
Shout out there to Lucy Olson, you know, doing great things. Basketball player in the college, looking to maybe get signed to the WNBA. That's awesome.
Gotta be a proud dad out there.
Doubt. It's a lot of hard work to get to that level. athleticism.
Yeah, not a whole lot of opportunity to get up into the WNBA and to be able to just have a chance of being in it. That's something to be accomplished of. There we go. Lights are off. We're gonna roll around this 1.36 mile speedway, a little under 1.5 mile. Egg shaped. I have the super chips of Joe Moose.
Hey, go back green. Get the lights off on that pace car. Good.
Absolutely 16 cars on lead lap here. I'll get to the mission 22 restart zone. See the Lucy Olsen green flag once again.
Green, green, green.
We're on the loud pedal. Joe Moose, good launch there over Jacob Moose and Edward Moose. Edward Moose is pushing Jacob Moose down turn number 1. They're going to clear Kyle Moonen. So it's the Mooses out on 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, back out there again. Like you said, Moonen falls back to 4th. Fitzpatrick up there in the 5th. Well, Roland Olson, he's up there in the 6th, doing good. Jim Bowie, 7th. Dominic Gale there in 8th. Mike Tranmer up there in 9th. And Stephen Spees rounds the top 10. It's looking these laps off. Lap 37 here, 75. Battle for the lead.
Yeah, battle for the lead. And all 3 Mooses right under a blanket. You see Jacob Moose out front now. Joe Moose under attack from Edward Moose. And that's going to ensure as we got a salty dog caution once again. Who is it? It looks like maybe Peter Thompson involved.
Just back on the Malcolm Mills replay and see what happened. Ooh, just barely got clipped by the 25. Ooh. Doesn't take much.
Yeah, Peter came down a little bit there on an exit of 4. Got tagged from the 25 around. He went and well, she wrote. So we're gonna have under 35 to go, and we go back green at least. Darlington showing its colors here of how tough it is to get around.
Oh, yeah. Tough place to pass. I mean, like you said, too tough to tame. And like, we're going to go under the lights.
We've been under the lights, Joe.
What I'm saying, I mean.
Moon is coming out. More.
Been under the lights here. Looking good. Enjoy it.
Doyle gonna pick up a lucky dog here.
Absolutely. Jacob, Eddie, go. All the Moose brothers up front. Patrick hanging on there. He's the hard charger tonight, up 16 spots. Kyle Moonen losing 4 so far. Roland Olson up 7, so doing an outstanding job. Parmalee back on 11th, up 12. Done good men to come through the field. I mean, that's just a testament of just, you know, some good fortune, hard charging luck, to be able to come up that many spots on this track.
So Gary Sigelco electing to come down pit road there. So your front Six all came on back on lap 21. Bowie came back on 20. Galante in 8th. He came in on 26. And then everybody else just about is 32 or somewhere near there.
Yep. All been the Moose gang, though, so far. Dominating here at Darlington. Get back up front. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if they can't make a battle amongst themselves here. Of Corey, let's go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Corey Ennis pulling for the Moose crowd. Doing good. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully, Spotty gets out here and flattens any mooses.
Be interesting if all three Mooses finish top 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, good at the family dinner.
We get to have a triple Moose interview.
Absolutely.
Well, lights are off on the iRacing pace car once again. Moose, 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 and Fitzpatrick.
Line them up 2 by 2. Jacob, Eddie, Joe. Lights off on a pace car. Turning out of turn 4. That hard left turn off on pit road. Let us get back going here. Down the back stretch here. Turns off. Get a little bit of Darlington stripes on the side of some of those Moose machines up front. They've been clanging and banging. Most of the trucks out there have. Only a few that are really clean. Now we're getting set to come out of turn 4, and that pace car will duck off on the pit road to our Mission 22 restart zone. Lucy Olson, green flag, back here for the Topside Tuesday here tonight. Coast to Coast Racing League. Lucy Olson, green flags in the air. We're back racing Darlington style.
You see Jacob Moose able to get out in front of Ed Moose, and Joe Moose able to hang in on 3rd. Fitzpatrick, he has a good gap back to Kyle Moonen now. Moonen just attempting to stay clean out there. Hold on to your top 5.
Does, and you can see, man, Jacob out front. Eddie's right there running in the tire tracks. Joe right behind him. Fitzpatrick falling a little bit back, though, but he's still there in the 4th place spot, hanging on. Moonen back at 5th. Got Olson right here hanging on to 6th. He's trying to see if he can't close in on Moonen and take that spot away. Dale right there sitting in 7th. Lynch up in the 8th place spot. Speeds rumbling there in 9th. And Cranmer hanging on the last place there in 10th. As we talk about Wetzel back up to 12th. So he's trying to maximize points here tonight. Remember, he had to come back from 3 laps down.
Absolutely, Wetzel trying to make up as many spots as he possibly can, and he's not quite running up all the way next to that wall. Mitigating, not getting damage. Yeah, he's just keeping the truck clean. That's what his goal is now, is keep the truck clean. Don't put yourself at risk of being involved in a wreck. You see him on the inside there, Jim Bowie. He'll make that pass clear. They'll move him up to the 11th spot.
Yeah, and that's the thing he's got to do. Just pick them off one by one. Take what the track gives him tonight. If he can get back up there, maybe in the top 5. Then Moonen almost wrecking up front. But if he can get back up there to the top 5, that would still be a win-win for him tonight. Anything other than that would be awesome too. But and maybe even to crack the top 10 would definitely be a win-win. But he's got to be very careful. Got about his time. Take him by one. He's doing that, but like you just said, Moonen, unfortunately, flipping, falling back to 7th. Speed's been able to move it up to an 8th, and who was that? Moonen again in the wall, and he sees that truck coming up on him like that. Wow.
Gotta think that's probably the outcome of last time coming into the pits on lap 21 with those older tires, especially after being sideways. It burned off your tires a whole lot more. Now they're definitely a lot slicker. See Wetzel right there behind him. Wetzel, he's taking it patiently, real patient.
All right, Corey, wouldn't it be out there, Enos, wouldn't it be the Moose is loose tonight? So the Moose is loose. They are top 3. Kyle Moonen is just falling off the pace. See Wetzel go right around him. Puts him in 9th place, so he's doing what he needs to do, like I say, to maximize those points. Meanwhile, Jacob out front's extending his lead over Eddie and Joe. All 3 of those guys are they're 3 seconds ahead of Fitzpatrick back here. Top 4 or 5 definitely splitting up a little bit, as looks like Gary Sickacow. Oh, sliding around the track just a little bit. All right, all the Mooses.
All the Mooses, exactly.
Well, I got to be impressed with all what Wetzel's done. I mean, you know, as long as he can finish this race out, even if he finishes no further than he is right now, that's probably a win-win for him. I mean, getting caught up in a wreck and, you know, going 3 laps down, battling back to 9th, he's still going to make up some points on Grace. Even if he does not get any more positions here, still would be a good one. I mean, he's still obviously got to finish the race out. And that's where he's got to be kind of patient. Watch what's going on, because he has no more fast fixes. He gets in another wreck. One and done for him. Bad enough. So from this point on, it's pretty much just like when he gets to this pack in front of him, you're going to have to bide your time on trying to go around him. Don't try to force the issue.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to play it smart when he catches up here to the trucks right in front of him. The first victim is going to be Dominic Galanti as of now. You see Robert Lynch Jr., he pulled the slider on a roll into Olsen. But when Wetzel gets up here, he's got to be smart about how he makes the pass, because of how tight the racing line is. It's really only 2 car widths around.
Yeah. And this is what he wants to see, too. He wants to see those guys get split up a little bit, so that gives him a chance to pick them off one by one. Like what you just said, if they're close to each other, he's going to have that room to where he can get around the one truck and then slide up and get in front of him. Right now, he would. Maybe Galanti is probably a little closer than he would like on Olsen, but still maybe enough room for him to do what he needs to, and just wants those trucks to be split up when he gets to them. Definitely don't want him to be, you know, nose to tail or side by side, because then he's going to have to just be real patient, sit back there. So we got a battle for the lead, and no, actually Jacob Moose coming in on pit road. That tells us they can't go all the way.
And Moonen's already in. Jacob Moose, Joe Moose, both are in. So the lap 21 pitters, they are definitely not make it to the end. And if I had to make a lucky guess, that means everybody
Eddie
else
didn't come in, and Jeff didn't come in.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come in here sooner than later. If they all can. I don't know. Try to leapfrog them.
Maybe well, now he comes in. Oh, he wanted that one. Oh, and one of the Mooses had to back up a little bit on pit road, and we talk about that a lot. But now you got Eddie. He says, "You know what? I'll take the one more lap better." I mean, and we talk about tires here. Tires definitely are a huge factor. Now, that puts Spees out front. He pitted at lap 32. Can he go all the way? Because that brings up Wetzel here, who pitted at lap 32, is now at the 4th, who, by the way, did get around Olsen and Galanti. But, and then Fitzpatrick going in pit road, now he's up 3rd. But that brings up the question, can those lap 32 pitters make it all the way?
Assuming that they have an 11 lap difference from where the 21 pitters had. they'd have to have an extra 9 laps of fuel in the tank for Spies and Lynch and company.
Yeah.
And now Wetzel, he's coming down on the apron. He'll make the hard left-hand turn into pit road. And look at that last chance, last minute selection there for Robert Lynch. He almost hit the barrels when he came in.
I guess that answered our question on whether they can make it or not. And no. So, we'll watch old Brad Wetzel here come on pit road, see what he does. I'm gonna save 4 tires and fuel.
You almost have to.
I'm gonna say you almost have to put 4 tires on it, but I'm looking at some of them, like Eddie, who only put 2 tires on.
Oh, and Wetzel a little bit of
11
backing
second
up.
pit stop. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. But Eddie Moose only had 11-second pit stops. It tells me he only did a 2-tire stop as opposed to Jacob with a 14-some second pit stop, and then Joe with a 16. So he must have really bad ones with that little slip up. But those two doing 4 tires, and it looks like Wetzel's 17-second stop. Still 4 tires. Going to have the 4 tires.
Oh, and Cranmer broke right front. That truck was throwing all sorts of sparks when Jacob Moose was trying to get back around him, or was it Joe Moose rather?
Could have popped the wall.
He popped the wall there, but car looks hurt, that's for sure. Kyle Moonen has a meatball flag right now running out here.
Could have got his Darlington stripe there, Mike did.
So all 3 of your Mooses back on 53 and 54. They're all in 8, 9, 10. Then off it up to the Speeds. They're 32 or near there. Maybe Sigelco.
Here's a question to bring up, because this could be interesting, because we're looking at now, 16 to go here. Speeds out front over Jacob, who was the first car to have pitted on lap 53. He has a 30-second difference. We talked about that. Remember last week how close it was? 1 lap, okay? Last lap, the leader he had a 29-second lead, and we were up here like, wow, why pit? But obviously he ran out of fuel. Speeds needs to now start saving fuel. If he thinks he's got, well, never mind, he just got spun. Forget what I just said. Caution out.
No, yeah, hold on. There it is.
We can say a caution didn't come out on that. So, all right, let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay, because you saw a lap car coming around and just got up into the leader, and that's the worst kind of getting wrecked. It's from a lap car. Wow. Watch it one more time. You can see Speeds right there, and then the lap car, which is Moonin, on the inside, and they just get tangled up. The lap car, he got in the back of him going into the turn, got him wiggly. And then, that's a heartbreaker, because I think Speeds might have had this thing set up to where if he had any indication or hope that he could make it, I think he can. Now he's got that thing crab walking. He's got to come into pits. It's done. Wow. Not happy, probably. I would, and here's the thing, whether it was my fault or I thought it was the other guy's fault or just both of ours, I would probably be livid too. Because, he had a 30-second lead. Probably could, even if it had been like, well, I'm 2 laps short or something, he had enough time to save 2 laps of fuel to give up. Here's the thing. Here's what that does. Jacob and Eddie both come back on pit road.
Well, they were the last 2 cars on the lead lap. Not a whole lot of hurting to come in and have the same tires as the drivers. But something interesting is Gary Sigelco electing to stay out for now.
He's going to be on the older set of tires. You're going to just see him. If he had maybe about 4 or 5 cars between him and the other ones, I would say maybe a good one. But with him being the only car, he's going to be just like a sitting duck in a rainstorm. Going to get soaked. Those guys are going to go right by him. Those old tires are not going to set up. But Jacob pitted lap 63. Only just came in to get a splash of fuel. Mike Cranmer probably really benefited from that caution, because that allowed him to come in and still stay up there in third. Here comes
Gary's
Sigelco.
coming.
I think he was just wanting to get some bonus points.
Yeah, I respect the hustle though.
Yeah, true. It wasn't going to work out for him to stay out there. I mean, definitely he wouldn't have held on to that lead. Like I say, if he had maybe 5 or 6 cars in between him and the guys with newer tires and whatnot, maybe, because this place is such a hard place to pass. But them being the only one, it wasn't going to work out well. Who does help on the benefit here, though, is Brad Wetzel. Gets back up to 9th.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sold on the 1 second stop for Jacob Moose unless he accidentally clicked on the fuel after taking tires, and it's saying he hit at 63 and did a secondary stop on a top of a stop.
Yeah, because I'm with you on that one, man, there, Corey. Because even if when he pitted with these guys, he's on the older set of tires, so he's about the same scenario we were just talking about. Gary, was Cranmer, Offit, Eddie Moose, all those guys are on new tires. They opted to go 4 tires, and
no, he just pulled in and pulled right on out. So
yeah, he just flash and go. So
wow,
Cranmer, Offit, Eddie Moose, Joe Moose, all those guys took 4 tires. Looks like Eddie might have got some optional repair along with Offit, because their pit stops were 22:33 seconds. And wow, maybe Joe did too, because Gary Sigelco, he got some optional too with the 20. Pit stops are awful slow. The nighttime air making the pit teams tired or something. Offit up 19.
wow.
What in the world are they doing?
What is going on here?
Racing tells y'all how to line up, fellas.
Oh boy, they are trying to figure out timing and scoring here right quick.
iRacing tells you, man, pass what car, pass them.
Oh boy. Well, okay, so now we got it corrected. Jacob Moose out front, Cranmer second, Offit third, Edward Moose fourth.
22 restart zone. Lucy Olsen, green flag, about to fly. We're going back racing. Can Jacob Moose on those older tires hold him off? I'm a bet, man, that's what he needed to maybe just get a jump on the field, but I think it's just going to be so late. Guys should just be able to wind him back in. I think they should be able to. We'll see.
Yeah, they should be able to reel him back in. I mean, we'll see. We'll find out. He's got a good gap now over Cranmer, almost 9/10 now, exiting turn 4. You see Offit get up into the wall a little bit. That's going to allow Edward Moose to close that gap in, but it's a gaggle of cars behind Gary Sigelco, and Sigelco under pressure now from behind from Joseph Moose. Joseph Moose on the inside down turn number 1 on Sigelco. They are door to door.
Wetzel, man, got into the car, truck in the back there in 9th place. Could have been a wreck. Wow, and there you just see old Sigelco in the wall. We do got a wreck in the back here.
Hine.
John Hine going around. Bring out the caution. See what happened here on the Malcolm Mills replay. Hine was right there. We're too wide. John goes on the inside. That's what got in that truck. Like a little checkup for John. John was down there on the apron, and then just got tagged in the side. Not tonight, he will. He probably just wants to forget about Darlington. Caution, and this is going to be interesting because I know Jacob probably did not want to see this caution because I think if it had kept going green, the more laps, he had a pretty good lead, and that's what he wanted. This is going to bring it close to green-white checkered. Don't quite think it's going to be because we're probably maybe 1 or 2 laps shy. But Jacob's got to do that restart all over again, and you know sometimes you can spin those tires.
Yeah, especially on Darlington. And, you know, John Hine was 40 laps down when he got involved in that wreck there. So, a whole lot of hurt for Hine. A little bit of hurt for everybody else involved in that wreck. Jacob Moose, this might actually help him more than anything, more than hurt. All things considered, if he can get a good launch like he did the last time. With Edward Moose right behind him, Edward will have Joe Moose behind him, so you're going to have all 3 Mooses on the inside. Cranmer, he's going to have Offit behind him on the high side, and Offit will have Dominic Galanti behind him. So the Mooses are going to be able to push each other on this start. They're going to be able to work together and get the push out the one moose out front of the other moose.
Absolutely.
It's like that saying, 1 foot in front of the other. Except it's 1 moose in front of the other.
Bunch of mooses.
We appreciate all these mooses coming out here and racing. Everybody else as well, putting on a good show on Topside Tuesday. You had the Pro Late Models earlier, and you're watching the Truck Series. Both tight tracks tonight. You had Fairbury and Darlington, both of them tight. At least on the racing line. See that little white line dash around the corners that indicates above there is the ideal racing line. You can run below it, but you're not going to do as good as if you're right above that white line.
Absolutely. So light's still on. Here we go. Getting down at the closing laps here. Whew.
Yep, lights shut off. Lap 72. We're going to take over to lap 73. So we're going to have 3 to go and we go back green. Still time for a green-white checkered if they do end up wrecking. You can always see overtime action here at Darlington. That's not what Jacob Moose wants to see, but I'm sure there's a few out here in the field that want to see an overtime.
It is. All right. Let's get these lights off on this pace car. Green flag racing here. I don't think this is technically a green-white check.
No, it ain't.
Mission 22 restart. Lucy Olsen, green flag. About to wave here at Darlington, Topside Tuesday. Jacob Moose out front. Can he withhold? He doesn't get the jump he wanted this time. And man, Cranmer's right there on him.
Jacob Moose actually able to get clear of Mike Cranmer there. Eddie Moose, Joe Moose, they'll get clear of Gary Offit, moving them up to 4th and 3rd. Cranmer in 2nd still. Now you got the battle for 3rd. That's Joe Moose on the inside of Edward Moose down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Jacob Moose has gap in front of Cranmer. Joe Moose now right there in front of Edward Moose. Edward Moose trying to hold off Gary off, and I can only imagine that Eddie, of that damage, he's just going to play blocker for the Mooses.
Yeah. How long can he do it, though, as off it right there, trying to close in. Laps winding down, 2 to go to get to the white flag. This one's official here tonight. Jacob looking good. Here comes Joe on the inside. He's just going to run out of time running down. Jacob out front. He needs a little bit more. White flag. One more time here for the Topside Tuesday. Jacob moves. Masterful plan here to hang on to it. He's got 2 more turns.
Can Edward get up to Mike Kramer? You see Edward, he's got the momentum coming out of turn number 2. He'll have one last shot at it. Jacob Moose well out in front. Joe Moose well out in front of Kramer, but Edward, last corner, not going to have enough speed out of that truck. Jacob Moose going to win Darlington. Joe Moose second. Kramer third, and we got a truck upside down at the back.
I saw that.
Robert Lynch.
Wow. What a finish for the Moose gang here tonight. They do bring 2 of them home, and 1-2. Cranmer hangs on the 3rd. Eddie pulls it off in the 4th. What a finish here for us. That was a good race. That was a good one here. Darlington living up to its hype. Too tough to tame, and some of these guys tonight, they found that out the hard way.
Get a word here in with your top 3.
Absolutely. Word in with them. Probably one of the better finishes for old Mike Cranmer, man. A good job on his end.
Absolutely.
Bring up old Joe Moose. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Joseph, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, second best Moose out here at Darlington. Just talk us through that race.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was our first race, all 3 of us in the truck division, and we didn't know what speed everybody was, and we blew the doors off these guys, and it was the scariest race of my life. But yeah, really hectic, a lot of cautions, so you had to be really good on the restarts. But just glad we got second and didn't wreck anybody.
Yeah, part of a top 5 for all 3 of you Mooses. And, you know, we watched it. You 3 were up front, and almost all 3 of you wrecked at the same time coming out of turn 2. Just talk us what your mindset was through that.
Yeah, well, I seen Jake in the wall off 4, and I was like, all right, Eddie gets a run on the inside, and I'm just going to follow him through. Well, I don't know what happened with them 2 goons or something. They just hit each other, and I was trying to sneak by on the inside, and next thing you know, I was looking at the inside wall because I got doored by Eddie, I think. But we gathered it up, and we just all had to settle down, get the nerves out, and just focused on clicking off the laps after that.
Absolutely. Well, man, you got anybody like to thank tonight for your outstanding performance?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Eddie's, Hot Rods, Main Street Auto, Musa Racing, and Graham Racing, my 2 brothers, Cody Graham, John Krupa, for being great teammates, and yeah, you guys for putting on a great stream.
There you have it, folks. Your second place driver, that's Joseph Moose.
Really good job by him tonight. Bring up our second place man here, old Mike Cranmer.
Hey, Mike, you got a copy on me?
10-4.
Well, you were able to split up all 3 of the Mooses here at Darlington. Just talk us through that race.
Yeah, I had trouble early, but just kind of, tried to keep good tires on it and just kind of run a good line. Sorry I messed up that family affair, but maybe I'm a distant cousin somewhere, but them boys run good and definitely hard to keep up with, but night worked out for me.
Absolutely, we're all related to someone somewhere, but you were able to split them out. You got anybody like to thank tonight for your outstanding performance?
I'd just like to thank the league and y'all for doing the broadcast. It's always a great broadcast to go back and watch, so y'all do a great job with that. And everybody that helps out with the league, the admins and all the review people and all the work behind the scenes, just definitely appreciate that. And, just fun racing with everybody.
There you have it, folks. Your 3rd place driver, Mike Cranmer.
It is. Good job on his end tonight. The guy here pulled it off. Jacob, join the booth. Got a copy?
I got you.
Well, you was able to hold off. Was you a little worried with those guys behind you with newer tires, or was you more worried about when that late caution came out?
I was more worried about the late caution because I didn't know who was going to dive bomb or if I was going to get a really bad restart. But I made sure I got a good start, and I jumped up in front of the 70 after the flag. And I was like, all right, we just got to keep it wide open through one, and I think I'll be all right. But, yeah, the tire wear wasn't that bad. I felt like I could run 20 sprint laps there on the last pit stop. So I think I was just keeping pace, and I think I was pretty decent there.
No doubt. Was able to put in victory lane. I mean, play says too tough to tame. How tough was it tonight for you?
It's always difficult when you come to Darlington because you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I put it in the wall in 3 and 4, and then me and my brothers all got together going for the lead. We're a little too aggressive there, and but you can never underestimate the track. It can just jump up and bite you. But I felt like I did a pretty good job at not getting the mark on the side and letting the lady in black take me. But it was just a great race. Great group of guys here. It's pretty fun.
No doubt. Like you said, man, hey, the Mooses came out roaring tonight and definitely looked good. 1-2 for you, but you was able to put it in victory lane, the Extreme E-Speed TV. Got anybody you want to thank for tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Eddie's Hot Rods. I was going to run a custom scheme, but it was Darlington, so it's throwback. So I ran a throwback to the 1991 Stego truck, and just glad to put it in victory lane. And thanks to my teammates at Graham Racing and everybody that helps me.
There you go, Jacob, and bringing it home tonight, victory lane. Well, what a wild night it was here. I mean, kicking it off with some awesome dirt track racing, and then these guys, man, here pulling it off in the pick trucks. Wild one, Corey.
Absolutely wild. Darlington put on the show we expected, and Fairbury, while it was a little bit of caution heavy, it definitely produced some good racing as well. I've seen a first-time winner there tonight.
It did. Jeffrey Kemper pulling it off. Old Jacob there, he's pulling it off again. So what a good one, folks. Tune in tomorrow. We got Hometown Heroes, Coast to Coast Racing League for myself and everyone. Have a good night.